Good morning, and thank you for the little time that you have given me to give me a chance to talk about.
So the command line that we started providing. What is RIPE Atlas? I believe many of you know, and there's even a page on Wikipedia that says the global open distribution platform consisting of thousands. So consisting of many measuring devices that measure connectivity in the web. So this map is showing us the coverage of our measuring network. Coverage in numbers. So we are available in 184 countries, covering 6.4% of IPv4, SN, and 11% of IPv6. And presently, we have 9,400 probes, and some of them are disconnected, but they will be switched on. Some of them are lost, but there is an obvious growth. Our network consists of those small devices, 17,000 probes. These little ones that just don't mix with the boxes that the previous presenter has been showing. And 10,000 users. The users' growth was 5,000 per person, 5,000. So we also placed some anchors that we have now more than 190 units, and last year we had 9 sponsors, and this year 6 at this moment in June. More than 300 ambassadors represent us and help us to distribute the probes at different conferences. And what does the RIPE Atlas provide? A global measurement. For instance, the domain servers are visualizing traffic maps, organizing regional changes to server anchors, and then users can also launch their own measurements and use Pinterest round DNS, SSL, mapping, and HTTP measurements in a restricted form, in a limited way. Presently, we also use anchor servers. All the data are open, and all users can download and use for their own analysis, including the real-time access. The most popular specifics are web interface to create user measurements. We now are improving our APIs, and we support API version 2, second version, that is more functional and more convenient. And we also provide visualization for our measurements and command line tools that I'm going to describe in more detail. Also, we provide access in real time to data, latency, the main one. We have a roadmap that's showing that you can consider, where you can see what functionality we are going to implement in the future. And now, let's talk more about the topic of the presentation. That's interface of the command line. So interface of the command line is quite convenient. Many users, especially Unix users, like it. The command line interface allows you to send this data to other program, write some scripts. It's convenient, deploys fast, and you can address issues very quickly. You don't have to look for something on the website. How can you use it? How do you use it? All those tools are open source. We wrote them. Our community supports them, and you can use them. You can use this opportunity, and you can improve, change something. How do you use it? You need to install a tool set. You need to create the API key with the use of web page. You see the reference, the link, and so after that, you need to register API key, and then you would be able to use the utilities without the need to log in somewhere. And then the source codes documentation. The source, the documentation, Linux BSD system, it's included, and then it exists in the development of the package for Windows and Fedora. So that's a ping case on Wikipedia work. So for instance, in this case, 50 probes will be used by default. They will all change at wikipedia.org. At the page below, you can see at the slide, you see how every probe responds. So the measurement set up, and each probe responds in real time, and you can see the flow of those results of the measurements. For instance, if you can flexibly set up some probes that will participate by geographic or protocol criteria. For instance, you can set up measurements that will use 20 probes from Canada, or 20 Canadian probes that IPv6 supports, or create a measurement that will repeat every hour. So at this page, we see that how you can make trace-out. It will show you in results in real time of the face route. It's very similar to the standard trace-out on Windows or Unix. And you can also search the existing measurement in order not to waste your own credits. You can use the ready measurements that users had launched before. And you can also search for specific probes, for instance, that this case is showing, and belonging to the ASN 3333, and showing what fields are necessary, what fields you want to show. For instance, V6 ASN, ASN V6 country, description status. So please use our tools. Please use our tools. Participate, get involved. Webinars, scientific research. If you can, translate our documentation into Russian. Become sponsors. Become ambassadors. Install the Anchor servers at your site, and place probes wherever they're not there yet, and participate in our open source developments. For instance, Open IP Map. Add links to your Guide Hub so that other users could use your developments. Participate in Hackathon. We had a hackathon in 2015 on visualization of data. Now, before the RIDE meeting in Copenhagen in May, and next one will take place in October in Madrid, XP Tools Hackathon. Get involved in our mailing list, ask questions, and thank you for your attention. Thank you, Viktor. Question? Can you hear me? Well, yesterday I got 2 probes. I looked at them. What is that? As we know, there are problems with passing them in. Well, we discussed that. This is a normal TP-Link that in Moscow costs 3,000 rubles. 8 gig flash drive costs another 200 ruble. And so the first presentation about the Roskomnadzor tools is at the same device, built on the same device. So the question, Leonid Volkov spoke here. This is a political story, not a technical one, but still, he has a certain resource. For 1,500 rubles, you can place such things to any place, to any point of Russia, if this 8 gig flash drive content is under your control and will just be given to people. And then you can still, without this box, in the normal, you can do it just as in a form of software. Are you going? Yes, yes, we are going to. We have in our roadmap developing either a virtual machine or some software that would be installed either at a server or in some appliance or virtual machine. But as we don't have enough resources to do everything, support RIPE Atlas and API and open projects, we cannot do everything at a time. It would be great, and many users are asking about it. As for the devices, we still initialize them in-house in our department because it requires a certain security level, because we generate the keys which encode the communication between the probes and our infrastructure. So we never thought how to delegate this part, cryptographic part, to someone else. You can still take the ready settings. So if a person buys the device, the gadget, he will send to MAC address. You generate, you send him the settings. Definitely, it will be slightly different at each device. So a person would copy, and it's clear when you have a physical access. It's clear that you can decompile, encode, decode. So actually the source texts are in the open access. You can go and you can study. But the only thing is that what you need to do, as the project belongs to community, and we cannot make any decisions anymore. So we need to discuss it together and develop some solutions. And there are so many opportunities, but we need resources and approval, because this is the thing that can be used for illegal activity, because this is like a botnet. We don't want to make it bad. So we need security in this case. Well, but can we get it at the same way in the tablet? Well, but they cannot connect to our infrastructure. I told about it. Yeah, thank you. I'll remind you that we have feedback forms at the website, please.